Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Wheel Stand Pro, which is basically a stand for your steering wheel that you can use when gaming. The actual model that I'm going to be reviewing today is the Deluxe version 2, which is compatible with a huge variety of steering wheels, as you can see there, but also they do provide lots of different stands and different compatibility with any kind of wheel that you can have, and even some flight simulator equipment as well, so feel free to check the website or contact them if you have any issues. So the unboxing, and the first thing that you see when you get the wheel stand is basically this outer layer, which has a picture of the stand on it with a wheel, and on the back it has some sort of extra information regarding the wheel and the stand that you buy, and showing some different photos of different wheels that are compatible with it. Then when you take out the main box from that outer layer, you basically open that up and you get the main wheel stand and all the equipment nicely packaged. It is very nicely packaged, you know, it's all well packaged inside that box. There isn't a lot there to actually see, but that's because there's not a lot that you really need. So you do get a lot of interesting documentation there, which gives you all the sort of information that you need to affix your steering wheel and your pedals for whatever wheel that you have to the Wheel Stand Pro, and it tells you about how to do that and a lot of different information regarding where you can go to get extra help as well. They do have their own YouTube channel that helps and shows a lot of videos for that. And you also get this box which basically contains a lot of different fixings and aspects, things that you need to affix the steering wheel and pedals to your stand. So everything that you really need to put the steering wheel on the wheel stand is in that box. You don't need anything else beyond that. They provide everything for you. And then obviously the main aspect of the box is the Wheel Stand Pro right here. That is the main wheel stand there. It's got bubble wrap on the bottom, so it comes well packaged. You know, you aren't going to have any damage, and very quick as well to arrive. So that's what you get. You take the plastic packaging off, and there you have your wheel stand. And basically it's a very clean and sleek design, as you can see there. You know, it's very minimalistic. You know, there's not a lot to it. There doesn't need to be a lot to it, and it's basically the perfect companion for your steering wheel. Now obviously steering wheels are becoming a lot more affordable these days. There are a lot cheaper options, and racing games are becoming slightly more prevalent, and especially with Project Cars coming out very soon, I would imagine that a lot of people do want to buy a steering wheel for that game, and it may be the first steering wheel that they buy. The Wheel Stand Pro is the perfect companion to have with a steering wheel. It's very compact, it will go away very easily and store very easily somewhere out of the way, as we'll see in the future, and it's compatible with any kind of wheel that you might buy. So I've been using the original Wheel Stand Pro for quite a while. I bought the original in 2011, and I figured it would be interesting to do a little comparison to see how they've improved the product over the last 4 years. Now the original I've never had any issues with whatsoever, but as you can see it is very slightly different in terms of how it's made. But in terms of the actual design of the wheel stand, they've obviously had a good idea from the start, so they've just kept with it. You know, the design itself is very similar. The joints, the areas that the joints are in where you can adjust the stand are very similar. It's generally the same design, but as you can see the new one on the right is a little bit longer, and it's much thicker as well in terms of the build quality. It's the quality of it is much better. It feels a lot more sturdy as well. It's certainly harder to lift up. You know, it just feels a much better made than the original. Now the original is of course 4 years old and they don't produce that one anymore, but I figured it would just be interesting to see a comparison between them, and I've never had any problems with the original, so any improvements that the new one has is even better really. So in terms of setting it up, now it's very easy to set up. You know, there's not a lot to it. All you have to do is obviously lift up the area where the steering wheel goes, and to affix the pedals you just make sure those rubber holders are in the right place for where you want them. They can move along the poles there. Make sure they're in the right place. Rest the pedals on top of those rubber holders, and then basically you affix it with a bar across the top. So you put a bar across the top of the pedals, as you'll see, and then a bar underneath, screw it in, and the Allen key and everything that you need to do that is all provided, and you know, the bar itself and the screws, they're all provided by with the wheel stand in that box that I showed earlier. And then the pedals are completely fixed and they're never ever going to move. So it's very easy to set up the pedals. Now I'm actually waiting for the Thrustmaster T300, that's what I'm going to be using with this, and that's why I needed the new wheel stand, because it's a more heavy duty wheel that the older wheel stand wouldn't have really been able to handle. But I'm just showing you sort of how it works with my old Driving Force GT, just to give you an idea of how easy it is. So the wheel itself actually sits on that plate there, and there's various different fixings for it. Obviously, some wheels might screw in. The Driving Force GT is actually very easy. You just sort of put it on and turn the little bits at the top, which allow it to lock in. But again, that plate at the top moves by using an Allen key and a spanner underneath it, which again is provided with the wheel stand. In that box that I mentioned, everything that you need is provided, so you don't need anything else to affix your steering wheel or your pedals to the stand. Everything is provided for you. It's very, very easy, very quick to do. As you can see there, it's really not a lot to it whatsoever. So the only thing that you really need to sort of work on a little bit is the final little adjustments, and that is basically getting it right for you and making sure that it suits your driving style and that it's comfortable for you when you're racing. So as you can see, you know, the actual pole itself can move backwards and forwards. The plate on the top can tilt up and down, and also the pole itself can move up and down in terms of height. And basically you want to just play around with all of these things to make sure that the stand is comfortable for you. You know, the steering wheel should be in a good position for you, that's comfortable, that you can do consistently well with whenever you're racing on whatever game it is. And once you've got that right, you just lock it into place and then you're sorted. Now the pedals, they can also move further forward as well, just by moving those rubber holders and affixing the bar across the top in a different place. There's lots of different options for you to be able to make the wheel stand fit for you, and there's very small there's no chance whatsoever that you won't be able to use it. So storing it is very, very simple. Again, you know, all you have to do is drop that down. It goes in between the pedals there, as you can see, and then that's it. That's all you need to do. You just get it up, you stand it somewhere out of the way. As you can see, mine is sort of in the corner there, completely unobtrusive, completely out of the way. Very, very easy. I just need to get it out when I need it. So time to test it and really see how it does. Now, to do this, obviously I used my Driving Force GT, which I've got a lot of experience with, and went back to Gran Turismo 5, which I also have a lot of experience with as well. So I've been using the same wheel on the same game that I've got a lot of hours put into it, and the only thing that's really changed is I've gone from the old wheel stand to the new wheel stand in the testing that I've done, and the difference is, you know, huge. Despite the wheel stands being the same, basically the same design and the same product but from different years, the difference is major. This newer wheel stand, the one that you guys can buy right now, is much more sturdy and much more robust and well made. As you'll see as we're sort of going around the lap, we'll do 2 laps of this track, and I'll just generally catch up to people. I'm a little bit rusty, but yeah, you'll basically see that the stand itself is very, very sturdy. You know, it doesn't move, and it's certainly a big improvement over the older wheel stand, because I did feel that had more tendency to move around a little bit. It was a little bit lighter. I would be able to sort of pull it up and down a little bit in certain times of you know, aggressive racing. You don't get any of that with the newer one. It's heavier, it's much more well stuck to the ground, much better made, more robust, and it certainly feels like the steering wheel is fixed to the ground a lot better, and the pedals as well. So I would be aware, just if you do look at any other reviews for the Wheel Stand Pro, make sure that it isn't an old video and it isn't covering the older version of the wheel stand, because the newer version is a lot better. Just make sure to be seeing reviews on the new version, because for me that's the only thing that's changed, and it is a big difference in terms of how it feels when you're driving the car. So one of the things that I would say that is a negative about the wheel stand is the fact that it isn't a fully incorporated cockpit. You know, for those people who do take their sim racing a little bit more seriously, they do really sort of want that full experience. I mean, with this wheel stand, you can have different fixings to be able to put gear shifters on and different kind of pedals and that kind of stuff, but it isn't a proper cockpit. You know, it doesn't come with a seat or any additional modifications that you can do to it to make it into a cockpit. So those who do take their sim racing a little bit more seriously, I would say you aren't going to be wanting a Wheelstand Pro. You know, this is below you, if you like. You know, you're going to be wanting to spend a little bit more money to get a proper cockpit. Now, I don't actually have any experience with using a proper cockpit or anything like that, but that's mainly because it's out of my price range. You know, I just don't spend enough time in simulator racing games or have the money to be able to afford something that is such a sort of expensive piece of equipment. Now, for most of us, this is going to be absolutely perfect. You know, most of us just enjoy our racing. Most of us just have a steering wheel or intend to get a steering wheel and want somewhere for it to go. We don't necessarily want a permanent place for a complete cockpit solution. We just want something that is affordable and is going to be easy to use, and this fits the bill absolutely perfectly. On the one hand, you know, it is very affordable. All the prices that you see on the website include postage and packaging, which is very, very reasonable. The postage itself is very, very quick. The wheel stands are actually made in Poland in Europe, so it actually arrives to you very, very quickly considering where it's come from. And for me, I think it was, you know, it was in 24 hours that I actually got the stand, so very, very quick to deliver. And you know, you can definitely see that they put in that extra effort to keep you happy when it comes to that sort of thing. When you get it, you know, it's very, very easy to set up. You get all the instructions that you need. They give you a lot of help, and along the way they've got a YouTube channel with all different kinds of videos on how to set it up for different wheels. If you're at all confused about which stand to get, because of, you know, the type of wheel that you have, you can contact their customer service, and their customer service is very, very good, and you regularly respond to people within 24 hours. You know, it's very, very quick, and often quicker than that as well. And for me, I've never had any problems with the wheel stand. Even the older version, I've never had any issues with it. No parts coming loose, nothing breaking. You know, there's been absolutely nothing wrong with it that I've had. All I've done is followed the instructions, used it as it should be, set it up very easily, and I've never had any issues with it. And that's been the same with the newer wheel stand. You know, nothing came broken in the packaging or anything like that. It was all absolutely perfect. So the idea of it being well made isn't just a feeling that you get. You know, it's actually proven in regular usage that nothing breaks on it, despite how you use it. And that was true for the original wheel stand, which, as we've seen, is certainly less stable, less sturdy, and less sort of robust than the new one. And I'm sure that's going to be true for this one as well. And the best thing about it is that everything comes with it. You know, you don't need anything extra. You don't need any extra spanners or tools or screwdrivers or anything like that. Everything comes packaged with the wheel stand for what you need for your wheel. So it's very, very easy to set up, and you don't really have to put a lot of effort in. And once you adjust it, you know, you can have all kinds of different adjustments to allow it to be to fit you and your seating position and all that kind of stuff. Once you've done that, it just stays in that position, and it's very, very easy. Like I showed you, just fold it down and fold it back up again. Also, I did forget to mention that there are sort of tie clips that you get with the stand as well. So all those cables that may be loose, you can actually affix to the stand itself, and those are provided for you as well. So this has been my review of the Wheelstand Pro. I'll leave all the links that you need in the description down below. Obviously the main website is wheelstandpro.com, but I'll leave all the links down below in the description for the YouTube channel as well, and ways to contact them if you're at all have any issues or want a bit more advice or anything like that. I really do hope this review has helped you as well. If it has, be sure to leave a like or spread it around. If you are intending to get a steering wheel for Project Cars coming out very soon, or any other racing game, and you think you might get a wheel stand, let me know, and let me know other options as well down below in the comments. So thanks a lot for watching everyone, I really do appreciate it, and I hope this has helped, and I'll see you next time.